Hi, I'm Gary. It's Halloween night and you've been invited to a party. Why not bring acorn squash? It's easy to bake and a good and satisfying side dish to any party. This is the acorn squash. It's delicious. Happy Halloween! Okay, today we're going to cook an acorn squash. I'm going to use a meat tenderizer and a serrated long knife. Perfectly down the middle. Separated. Okay, you're going to use a large spoon. You have a pan that's nearby. You're just going to scrape it into your pan. So you're going to physically scrape it down. See how it's coming out? The fibers are coming right off with the spoon. The nice thing about a spoon, it's safer than using a knife. You don't have to worry about the spoon slipping and cutting you. Okay, so that one's done. The other one, I'll cut it exactly very even. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to scrape it out using a spoon. All these fibers over here. Once all the fibers have been removed, you're going to oil it with good quality oil. You don't have to use oil. This is just the way I do it. This one will take a lot longer than this little paw print over here. So you take Bertolini extra virgin olive oil. That's what it looks like. And you pour a little bit inside, maybe a spoonful. You can use a fancy brush like this, a silicone brush, to get it all over the edge. Extra oil. Put it on the other one. And then you're going to use, I like spike. You're going to use spike. It's kind of green. It's all vegetables and salt. And we're going to use Lawry's garlic salt. Now we're preparing the acorn squash to go into the oven. So I've oiled it, I've seasoned it. I'm placing this one upside down so it can steam this one up on the top. It's going to go in the oven, 350 degrees, for a little bit less than an hour. I'll be checking in 30 minutes into the cooking time, make sure that it's not overcooked. Okay, so the acorn squash is just finished. I'm going to use a fork, and this is perfect, all the way cooked totally through. So this is ready to go. And of course it tastes delicious. Very nice. When they're this big, sometimes you just need to cut them. Now the acorn squash can be easily packed for storage in your refrigerator. Storing the acorn squash in a plastic bag makes it easier to find a place in the fridge for it. The acorn squash is in the fridge cooling. It's Halloween night and you're home alone. Why not make acorn squash seeds? Easy to bake, a good source of fiber, and a wonderful snack. Happy Halloween! Okay, so we put away the mess of the acorn squash. Now these seeds are much smaller. So you need a trash bag, and then you take the pulp away from the seeds. And these seeds, once they're all separated, when they start looking kind of crispy, then you pull them out. Now these little seeds right over here, they're not worth anything. There's nothing in these little seeds. You only take the really big seed. I get to enjoy the squash, but as a special treat, instead of going down to my local grocery market or going to Sprouts, I get these seeds. I don't have to buy the seeds and pay that price. A little bit of trouble to get them all separated. Don't get as many seeds like you do from a pumpkin, but considering that this is an acorn squash and it's like a fourth of the size of a pumpkin, you're not doing too bad. Okay, so after you strained your seeds, then you transfer them to a dish. You see the seeds are much smaller than, for example, this pumpkin seed over here. And then you're going to season it with spike, and you're going to basically bake this on. And it's going to be a lot faster than some of the other seeds. Put some oregano so we get a little bit of Italian seasoning on these seeds. And we're going to use Lawry's salt, garlic salt. Give it a little bit of crunch. This will be going in the oven. Now these seeds are ready to eat. They're all completely dry. So these are cool. And now what I do is I put them in a plastic bag. And that way they're ready for my treat. You can put them in a plastic container. Store these in the fridge. There's no natural preservatives on these except for the salt. Acorn squash doesn't give you very many seeds. Maybe if you were to cook several at one time. But you can see I have maybe an eighth of this little bag, this plastic bag. And so as you can see, there's about a quarter of the bag there for this acorn squash. There's much bigger acorn squash that I cooked. Okay, so this acorn squash is going to go in the fridge, and it's going to be a nice little treat for tonight. Hi, I'm Gary. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click the circle on the right side of your screen to subscribe for more organic cooking, or click the rectangular box upper right side of your screen to see my expanded playlist. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you for watching.